Welcome to Da Headlines. I'm Li Wei Tai. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show, to promote an eco-friendly, meatless lifestyle, City organizes an international vegetarian expo in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Victims of the recently flooded San Jose del Boquerón in Argentina have their health problems treated at its city-free clinic held in the area. And the Taiwan Foundation for the Blind is teaching vision-impaired people how to protect themselves and escape in the event of an earthquake. As weather patterns across the world become increasingly abnormal, people are searching for practical ways to curb global warming. One option is to take on a greener diet. On Earth Day, April 22nd, the City Foundation and the Kaohsiung government held an international vegetarian expo in the Taiwanese city. By demonstrating the art of meatless cooking and offering an array of tasty veggie dishes, the organizers hoped more people would be inspired to give a meatless diet a try.
At the International Vegetarian Expo held in Kaohsiung, City's conservation booth is very popular among groups of visiting students. In addition, new immigrants from the Gangshan city grounds and residents of the Shanlin Da'ai community are all here with their specialty dishes, all meat-free.
When you put your heart into what you do, the outcome is usually very nice.
I have learned a great deal here at the expo. My parents live really far away, so coming to class every week is like homecoming.
Lu Qingtan became a head chef at a famous seafood restaurant at the age of 27 and later went on to open his own seafood eatery. However, after joining Tzu Chi, he began serving vegetarian food. The 61-year-old can be seen at disaster sites cooking for victims. According to Lu, vegetarianism is a form of repentance.
I was inspired by Master Zeng Yan's speech and decided to no longer be involved in the business of killing. My personality changed as well. If you cook with your heart, you will be sure to turn out beautiful and tasty dishes.
Through the expo, it is hoped that the idea of environmental vegetarianism will rub off on the participants and go on to gradually gain currency as a mainstream diet.
Vegetarian food is gradually becoming a mainstay of school lunches in Taiwan. 86% of schools now offer a meat-free day. The experts say children can get all the nutrients they need without eating meat. And fruit and vegetables also make great brain food for growing minds. In the latest in our series of reports on the vegetarian movement in Taiwan, we go to a private school in Yilan to find out what the children think of it. Instead of a school bell, there is the sound of children playing. Hello. And enjoying Mother Nature. It is harvesting time in the Year 3 garden again. Broccoli, tomatoes and other vegetables are all ripe for the picking. And every bite is fresh and healthy.
喜欢吃蔬菜水果的举手。为什么？好吃。
Many children are fussy about funny tasting food. They don't like it, but after they grow it, they want to try.
In this little Garden of Eden, the children experience what it is like to be farmers, learning that you reap what you sow.
The children learn that food doesn't come from the supermarket. By growing it, they carefully look after it.
After learning how to respect living things, every flower, every blade of grass, and even every stone is precious to the children. As well as the garden, there are valuable lessons to be learned about nutrition in the kitchen.
9 years ago in the school, we started our nutritional lunch, which is mainly vegetables. We thought about it from an educational standpoint. The children's nutrition and health, and their whole emotional and physical development are all connected.
Early in the morning, the school cook starts making the mainly vegetarian school lunch. The idea is to introduce the children to a healthy diet. children sit down for lunch, saying grace before eating. When you're grateful for what you receive, each mouthful tastes better.
你喜欢吃蔬菜吗？喜欢。喜欢吃蔬菜吗？为什么喜欢？
蛮好吃的。咖喱菜。
为什么咖喱菜？
因为很甜，很好吃。
There is no need to worry that these children will not eat up their greens, but will a meatless diet make them sluggish? In fact, vegetables and fruits can boost brain power and are good for the mind. The school's long-term commitment has won the support of parents.
上课各种学习，还有这个学校很多动手。
In class and many of the hands-on lessons, the children need to be dynamic. From this, we can see the children are not missing out on nutrition or energy.
As well as providing a balanced diet, vegetarian food cuts child obesity. In 2010, the Ministry of Education started encouraging junior high and elementary schools to make one meatless school meal a week. 86% of schools responded, including 8 cities and counties that have a vegetarian meal a week policy.
Our Taiwanese children don't eat enough fruit and vegetables, and already 1/3 are overweight. So we think if these children don't change their diet, when they grow up, they will have more coronary artery problems and more cancer. If you eat vegetarian food and give children some egg and milk products, we think that will be more balanced.
A balanced diet helps keep children fit and healthy, and with every bite, they can learn to respect living things and enjoy the taste of natural goodness. Going vegetarian best starts at the source. Teachers and students at Asia University in Taichung, Taiwan have come together to grow organic fruit and vegetables on their campus. They farm and then turn their produce into delicious vegetarian dishes. On Earth Day last Friday, the students and teachers used the opportunity to introduce more people to a meatless diet.
Here at Asia University in Taichung, Taiwan, students and staff use a vacant plot of land on the campus to grow organic vegetables. One student has been a vegetarian all his life and says,
I don't get sick often. I do catch flu, but compared to people who eat meat, it's true that I don't often catch cold. I ask other people whether they want to join me. They can pick a few days a week, or just a meal, or a whole day to be vegetarian like me.
Another long-term supporter of the meatless diet is Wang Meiqing.
I have been a vegetarian for more than 10 years. It has made me thinner and healthier, but it also helps reduce my carbon footprint.
You can cut it thinner, put it on top and add a bit of soy sauce. It then becomes a delicious plate of tofu.
Students and staff conscientiously cultivate and harvest these organic vegetables.
From planting to weeding, watching it grow, and finally to harvesting. Here we display the whole process. And now we cook it for everyone to eat. Vegetables and fruits are indeed very nutritious.
By growing their own vegetables and fruits, students experience the hardship of farmers and all promise to promote the goodness of vegetarianism.
Next, we have 2 stories on free clinics for those who cannot afford proper medical care. At the moment, we go to Argentina, where Tzu Chi volunteers tended to families who were recently affected by a flood. But first, we go to Klang in Malaysia's Selangor, where a team of doctors and volunteers provided medical service to workers at a local oil palm plantation, hoping to offer good medical advice and services to these people living far away from any other healthcare providers.
Dulu tak ada kerja langsung. Kita orang cakap tak ada dengar. Nanti mari kawan-kawan pergi minum juga.
Marimutu's reliance on alcohol not only cost him his job, but also his relationship with his family and neighbors.
It wasn't peer pressure. When my friends drank, I wanted to drink with them too. I stopped all that when I met Tzu Chi volunteers. I've quit drinking.
Thanks to the friendship of Tzu Chi volunteers, Marimutu overcame his drinking problems and found a job. For the upcoming Tzu Chi free clinic, the reformed man offered his house and yard as the venue so that his neighbors can all receive free and good quality health care.
I want to thank Master Zheng Yan for bringing the Tzu Chi volunteers to our place.
On Charity Day this month, I came with volunteers to visit care recipients. We saw an old woman with some sores around her left ear. Most of the residents here receive little education and possess scant health knowledge. So we decided to hold a free health check, which became a free clinic.
So this hygiene you have to teach them. Otherwise the problem will recur and recur and recur.
Working under the scorching sun, this is the first time these local team of doctors have given service in such Spartan conditions. In addition to dental checks, doctors give out oral hygiene tips on how to avoid oral cancer. Meanwhile, volunteers go from door to door to notify those who have not yet made it to the clinic. Angama, who has trouble walking, is escorted to the free clinic by the caregivers.
这位婆婆讲呢，她说我们慈济的人，还有那个医生啊来看哦，给她很方便，然后她很开心。
Doctors and volunteers made sure that 40 patients received the best health care they could give, albeit at a free clinic in a far from ideal setting. Tzu Chi International Medical Association volunteers from Tucumán province in Argentina recently went to San Jose del Boquerón in the neighboring province of Santiago del Estero to hold a free clinic. What used to be regarded as a drought-prone region was unexpectedly hit by flooding 2 weeks ago. Many villagers are living in tents or sheltering inside local churches. The medical treatment and emotional support provided by the volunteers came just in time.
The way to this free clinic in northern Argentina is far from easy. After the flooding, Tzu Chi volunteers see tent camps erected by churches all along the way. Not going to school, children gather in front of the television, and these benches are beds for the night.
When the flood happened, we offered emergency supplies and food because a lot of villagers were sick, immobile or visually impaired and couldn't leave their damaged homes.
Rescue workers moved the residents here in Santiago del Estero province to emergency shelters and helped feed their livestock. 2 weeks after the deluge, helicopters are still delivering aid, and now Tzu Chi is here to offer medical treatment.
Actually, coming here, we were very worried. We were afraid we wouldn't make it. But when we got here, we found we came at the right time because we're not only giving free medical care, but comforting the victims as well.
A patient at a free clinic over a decade ago is now serving as a doctor. Meanwhile, volunteers assemble a pushchair for a child with cerebral palsy and trim the hair of other flood victims. Knowing what it's like to go through a natural disaster, the residents of San Jose del Boquerón say a prayer for Japan. The kind-hearted rescue workers even swapped the sun in the center of the Argentinian flag for the rising sun to show solidarity with Japan.
In Taiwan's Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Pingchang and friends have been subsidizing the kitchen of a local homeless shelter for 4 years. Recently, they decided to go one step further by providing vegetarian meals once a week. The city's homeless are glad to know they can help the planet simply by giving up meat. At 9 in the morning, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taichung are already working in the kitchen of a homeless shelter.
We're preparing 5 dishes, including sweet potato leaves, pumpkin soup, and cabbage.
Homeless people are free to help themselves to the delicious vegetarian dishes. They enjoy the food, happily using their own bowls and utensils.
Vegetarian food is lighter on the body and is quite beneficial to our health.
When I have meat, my blood pressure increases, which is not good for me. Eating vegetarian is better.
Some 4 years ago, Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Pingchang called on his friends to help the homeless shelter by donating fresh ingredients to its kitchen. Now volunteers are going one step further to cook vegetarian meals once a week.
Natural disasters just seem so frequent and endless. Master Zheng Yan called on the public to give up meat for the planet, so I asked the station chief here if we could come to provide vegetarian meals.
The homeless in the city can feel the sincerity and compassion of the volunteers. They look forward to eating more meatless meals so they can safeguard our planet as well. Knowing that household detergent and chemicals are harmful to our environment, 83-year-old Lin Yang has been striving for years to develop an eco-friendly and multi-purpose replacement. Undeterred by countless failures, she has finally succeeded creating Grandma's natural cleaner. Now, Lin Yang says she can finally pass on a less polluted environment to future generations.
An oily pot is cleaned once again after a couple of light scrubbings with the solvent formulated by Lin Yang of Miaoli, Taiwan. The 83-year-old is an avid environmentalist and developed this eco-friendly cleaner after years of research.
People nowadays use so many different potent chemicals in their daily life. What happens to them when they flow underground? How will they affect our lives? Our generation may be fine, but what about future generations?
At first, Grandma Lin Yang experimented with soybean powder, which ended up introducing too many nutrients into rivers and causing eutrophication. Though saddened by the setback, Grandma Lin Yang continued her research. She would dream of formulas even while asleep.
As I experimented with different ingredients, some caused crystallization and some saponification. I simply failed way too many times. Sometimes I dream of a formula and I get up immediately to try it.
Each new recipe is tested at home, in the kitchen, in neighbors' kitchens, or even nearby restaurants.
My floor is greasy and so is my apron. I asked Grandma Lin Yang how to wash them. What's amazing is that she is determined even at her age. She would not give up. She's great.
Enduring pain in her knees, Grandma Lin Yang takes her eco-friendly cleaner around her neighborhood for people to try. Seeing it doing its job, Grandma Lin Yang is very happy. And most importantly, she has preserved a better environment for future generations.
Staying in Taiwan, since the Great Earthquake in 1999, people have been more aware of disaster prevention. However, the blind are often forgotten when a tremor happens. Thus, the Taiwan Foundation for the Blind decided to organize a training program to help vision-impaired people escape from disaster situations.
Covering their eyes with patches, those who are able to see are experiencing the shock of an earthquake with blind people. An actor Yo Sen shares how he feels.
I felt a sense of insecurity above my head and felt like something was about to fall down.
Knowing the helplessness the vision-impaired people experience, the Taiwan Foundation for the Blind organized a training to help them prepare for natural disasters. Apart from sticking tape on the floor to help them escape, relatives and friends should carry out disaster drills to increase their chances of survival.
If the earthquake happens when we are asleep, we need to lie down next to the bed and cover our head with a pillow. When the quake stops, we walk along the designated route to a safer place.
Organizers say when an earthquake strikes, the general public should help blind and handicapped people escape.
On this day, the 25th of April, constructed in the late 1950s by more than 10,000 retired soldiers, Taiwan's Central Cross Island Highway passes through the mountains and marble rock layers. It was completed in 1960, 6 months ahead of schedule. However, after the 1999 earthquake, heavy rains brought by typhoons would regularly cause landslides that would damage the highway in many places, thus leading to an ongoing debate about whether the route should be closed for the land to restore itself naturally. The Portuguese Carnation Revolution took place on this day in 1974, as left-leaning revolutionary soldiers overthrew the fascist and authoritative regime in a military coup. Thousands of civilians joined the non-violent demonstrations, each holding a red carnation. This day also became Portugal's Freedom Day. On this day in 2010, without any warning, a landslide sliced across Taiwan's National Highway No. 3 around the Chidu section, burying passing cars and killing 4 people. Tzu Chi volunteers arrived on the scene to provide food and comfort to the families of the deceased. In response, the Ministry of Transportation reinforced regulations and safety checks on slopes by the island's highways.
In light of the destruction in Japan brought by the earthquake on March 11th, the Asian American Federation of California held an interfaith prayer service in Union City to send their love to Japan. Tzu Chi Northern California chapter was also invited to attend.
The beat of the drum resembles that of the heart and is intended to encourage disaster victims in Japan. At the Southern Alameda County Buddhist Church in Union City, California, people of different faiths have gathered for a joint praying ceremony.
Disasters in Japan, revolution in Syria, Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, and many other countries.
Tzu Chi volunteers then take the stage and perform a sign language song to convey universal love. They are also thanked for Tzu Chi's Quake relief efforts.
Many friends in the international society are giving us. So many Japanese people are very much heartened. At this moment, I think we are having many donations and assistance for this.
You just found out what they need, and then you just provide them exactly what they need. We've been so warmed by you, and just thank you so much.
Local media also interviewed Tzu Chi members at the end of the event.
Master Zheng Yan said, wherever there are disasters, we the Tzu Chi people will do everything in our power to go and provide assistance.
Holding ceremonial candles, Tzu Chi volunteers pray that the world will stand as one in providing disaster relief.
On Earth Day last Friday, Tzu Chi volunteers in New Taipei City in Taiwan organized a series of programs to highlight the importance of conservation in local schools. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Dai Headlines. Goodbye.